Hello, and welcome to all next-gen leaders. You are tuned into Drive in Leadership Lane, the place where we navigate the winding roads of management and personal growth through the lens of the world's most influential books. I'm your host, and as we start the engine today and pull out into the flow of traffic, we're tackling a map that is absolutely vital for anyone steering a team in the 21st century. We are diving deep, and I mean deep, into Leading in the Age of AI by Lalo Hinojosa. Lalo Hinojosa isn't just a tech enthusiast. He is a strategist who sits at the fascinating intersection of human psychology and digital transformation. He wrote this book because he realized that most of us are driving into the future using a rearview mirror. We are using leadership tactics from the 1990s to manage a workforce in 2026. This book is essential because it serves as a software update for your brain. The impact on those who follow Hinojosa's rules is profound. You move from being a leader who is threatened by automation to one who is augmented by it. You become the pilot, not just a passenger, in the technological revolution. Section 1. From know-it-all to learn-it-all, the orchestration rule. As we merge onto the highway and pick up speed, let's talk about the first major hurdle Hinojosa identifies. For decades, the alpha leader was the person with all the answers. They were the most experienced, the most knowledgeable, the human encyclopedia. But in the age of generative AI, that model is officially dead. AI can now provide technical answers in 3 seconds that used to take a human 3 weeks to research. Hinojosa argues that the new leadership currency isn't answers, it's orchestration. Think about the road ahead of us. My dashcam sees the cars, the lanes, and the speed limits. It provides the data, but it doesn't know why I'm going to my destination. It doesn't know if I'm in a hurry because of an emergency or if I'm taking the scenic route to clear my head. As a leader, your job is now to provide the why. For example, imagine a marketing director at a mid-sized firm. An AI tool might suggest a perfect, data-driven campaign that is statistically guaranteed to get clicks. However, the orchestrator leader looks at that campaign and realizes it feels cold or robotic and doesn't align with the company's history of grassroots connection. That leader uses the AI to build the foundation, but adds the human soul to the final product. By following this rule, you stop being a bottleneck of information and start being a filter of wisdom. Your team stops fearing that AI will replace them because they see you using AI to free them up for higher-level creative thinking. Section 2. The IQ versus EQ paradox, the human premium. Now, as we hit a stretch of open road, let's look at what Hinojosa calls the paradox of intelligence. He makes a bold claim. As artificial intelligence, IQ, becomes a cheap, unlimited commodity, emotional intelligence, EQ, becomes the most expensive and valuable asset on the planet. In this section, Hinojosa dives into why soft skills are actually the new hard skills. AI can simulate logic, but it cannot simulate genuine empathy, vulnerability, or the ability to read a room. When you follow the rules of this book, you realize that your primary job isn't to manage tasks. It's to manage energy. Take this example. A software team is facing a massive deadline, and morale is at an all-time low. An AI management tool might send out automated nudges or reminders about the deadline. But a leader with high EQ recognizes the subtle signs of burnout in a lead developer's voice during a Zoom call. Instead of sending a nudge, that leader calls for a mental health break or spends 20 minutes just listening to the team's frustrations without trying to fix them with data. This human premium creates a culture of loyalty that no algorithm can replicate. The impact? You build a resilient team that will walk through fire for you because they know you see them as people, not just input units. Section 3. The ethical compass and the black box problem. Let's slow down a bit as we navigate these tighter turns. This is where Hinojosa gets into the shadow side of AI, the lack of transparency or the black box. Many AI systems make decisions based on patterns that even their creators don't fully understand. Hinojosa warns that a leader in this age must become a steward of ethics. You can never say, the AI made the decision, not me. The rule here is radical accountability. If you use AI to assist in hiring, performance reviews, or loan approvals, you are 100% responsible for the biases that the AI might inherit. For example, Hinojosa discusses a scenario where a company used AI to rank employee performance. The AI started penalizing employees who took longer breaks, not realizing those employees were actually the connectors who were helping everyone else stay motivated. A leader following Hinojosa's rules would audit that AI. They would question the data and ensure that the unseen value of human connection isn't being erased by a machine's narrow definition of productivity. By being an ethical steward, you protect your company from the massive reputational risks that come with unsupervised AI. Section 4. The perpetual beta, the art of unlearning. As we see the signs for our next exit, we reach the most personal part of Hinojosa's framework, the perpetual beta. In the past, you went to school, got your MBA, and you were set for a decade. Today, the half-life of a technical skill is about 5 years. In the age of AI, it might be 18 months. Hinojosa argues that the greatest leaders of the future will be the greatest learners. But more importantly, they will be the greatest unlearners. You have to be willing to let go of the proven methods that made you successful yesterday. Think of it like a GPS update. If I refuse to update my maps, I'll eventually try to drive across a bridge that no longer exists. Consider an old-school sales manager who built his career on cold calling and intuition. Hinojosa gives the example of a leader who, instead of clinging to the old ways, spent 3 months learning how to use AI-driven predictive analytics to find leads. He didn't lose his sales gut feeling, but he gave his gut feeling a superpower. The impact of the perpetual beta mindset is that you never become obsolete. You remain the most relevant person in the room because you aren't afraid to say, "I don't know the answer yet. Let's figure it out together." Section 5. The digital soul, impact on the workforce. Before we conclude, we must talk about the impact of these rules on the people you lead. Hinojosa spends the final chapters discussing the digital soul. He observes that employees are currently terrified. They hear AI, and they think layoffs. A leader who follows this book doesn't ignore that fear. They address it head-on. They use AI to eliminate the drudgery, the boring, repetitive parts of the job, so their employees can do the deep work they actually enjoy. For example, a legal firm uses AI to summarize thousands of pages of case law. Instead of firing the junior associates, the leader tasks those associates with spending that save time on pro bono work or complex litigation strategy. The result is a workforce that feels empowered rather than erased. This is how you lead a team that is excited about the future rather than dreading it. Closing remarks and thanking note. As we pull into our destination and find a spot to park, let's recap the journey. Lalo Hinojosa's Leading in the Age of AI tells us that the machine age actually requires more humanity, not less. It requires us to be orchestrators of wisdom, guardians of ethics, and perpetual students of change. If you follow these principles, you won't just be managing a team, you will be pioneering a new way of working. You will be the leader who stayed calm while everyone else panicked, because you understood that while the tools have changed, the heart of leadership, connection, vision, and integrity remains exactly the same. Thank you so much for joining me today on Drive and Leadership Lane. It is an absolute privilege to have you in the passenger seat as we navigate these big ideas together. If this deep dive summary helped you see the road ahead a bit more clearly, please hit that like button, leave a comment about which AI leadership challenge you're facing, and don't forget to subscribe so we can continue our journey through the world's best books. Until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon, stay curious, and keep leading with purpose.